My name's Josh. I manage about $6 million a year in ad spend for larger sales organizations, primarily in the B2B finance space. On this channel, we talk about marketing, we talk about AI, and we basically cut out the bullshit. I'm boots on the ground. I'll tell you exactly what's working, exactly what's not working. So without further ado, let's get to the video. I see hundreds of competitors in the ads library and just ads on my feed who are doing marketing for their business, trying to generate leads. And I can only imagine what their actual cost per lead is and ultimately cost per acquisition because of how they have things set up. It's really not correct a lot of the times, and there's no right or wrong way to do things, but there are things that I've learned over time to really help optimize accounts. The first thing that you need to understand with Facebook's algorithm, you have to tell it exactly who you want. So when we first started, 3-4 years ago, when we actually got the opportunity to start running leads, I was the marketing director at a large business brokerage in the United States. And they said, can you generate leads? And we're like, yes, we can generate leads. But we let every lead through. And of course, when you're not filtering the leads or have conditional logic on there, what happens is the sales team complains. They're like, these leads are garbage. They don't even have a business, which you need for business financing. So over time, we added more and more conditional logic, which just means filtering out bad leads. And the more conditional logic that you add, the higher your lead cost will become. But that's okay, because in an ideal world, you're talking to the perfect prospect, or your salespeople are. So over time, we added more and more conditional logic. And this was a good thing, but it would raise lead costs. So we'd add a couple questions in, filter out some bad leads. Lead costs might jump to $20. And we're like, okay, well, can we make them more qualified and more qualified? So we made iterations of that. And over time, we pre-qualified prospects, and we're paying more for a lead, but everything works because, and the salespeople love the lead. And that's how we ultimately, have become the #1 lead source for this company. But it's important to know conditional logic first and foremost. Now, with conditional logic, what happens when you turn away the people that clicked on your ad? They were interested, but they don't qualify, or maybe they're not your ideal customer. The way that Facebook Meta's algorithm works is you want to tell it exactly who your ideal customer is, because it gets smarter over time. It's an AI algorithm. So the more people that become leads and you're like, hey, this is the lead I want, the more of those people you're going to get. So that's important to understand. So when you have interested people, but you're turning them away, because maybe they're not your ideal customer, but maybe you also could still sell them something else. What do you do with those people? Because you have somebody that's expressing interest, they're just not your ideal customer. So you want to capture them, but at the same time, you still need to kick out the startups or the people that are just completely not qualified whatsoever. So you need a system, a bucket sort of system, in order to make this possible. So think about it this way. You have your primary lead source, your perfect lead, and that lead will be expensive. Okay, so set up your campaign, make your conditional logic so it's your perfect, absolute perfect lead. Then you have your middle tier, which is not a perfect lead, but you can still, sell them something or work with them. You want to still take those calls. And then you have your complete DNQs, do not qualifies, that you don't want to let into your funnel. So there's ways on Facebook where you can route properly. A huge mistake that I see a lot of advertisers make is on their DNQ page, because as you're going through the conditional logic, you can say, yes, this is a successful lead, and you bring them to a certain end page that says, hey, congrats, you qualify, click below to continue your application, something like that. Or if they're do not qualify, then you have a page where you say, hey, I'm sorry, but you don't really qualify for this. Here's what you really want to do. You don't want to tell anybody that they don't qualify. So both my perfect thank you page, like yes, you qualify, and my DNQ page are basically the same thing. So the DNQ page for the DNQ page, thank you page, we say, hey, congrats, you qualify. Click this link right here. And then we bring them to an external link where I have my minimum requirements set. So like for business financing, it's like 5K minimum revenue, have to have a business bank account and been in business at least 6 months. So I send them to that link, and then from there, they can apply there. So I'm not telling Facebook that I want that client, because I only want Facebook bringing me my ideal clients, but I'm still collecting their information. But if they still don't meet those minimum requirements on that new landing page that I'm sending them to, we kick them to the curb. So this is a really, really useful strategy no matter what industry you're in, So you can, number one, tell Meta exactly who you're looking for, still collect customers that you can help and you can serve, and then also kick away, kick out the startups or whatever that equivalent is to you. That's just a D&Q lead.